Let me start by saying I've only watched Mob Psycho, Hajime no Ippo, Naruto, Vinland Saga, Season 1 Saiki K. I only watched dub. And I'm watching Death Note right now. Amazing show. So I mean, I can't get to every comparison, but I think I have 4 good comparisons that I'm watching. I'm like, this just makes perfect sense that this guy, basically I have 4 comparisons. Let's get straight into it. First up, maybe a little surprised because the thumbnail shows something a little different. I'm going for Mike Guy and Jurgen Klopp. I had to redo this part because I forgot I was talking about Mike Guy. And I was getting to the point how they both have rivals. Klopp has Pep, Mike has Kakashi, but they both respect them. I accidentally said Madara. I don't know why. Let's get into it. Both of them, they kind of invented this style of theirs. Or maybe not invented, but at least popularized taijutsu. Naruto's ninjas, but everyone has power-ups. My guy's like one of the few that still just fights with his hands, goes to the very top. I'd say even skill levels kind of makes sense. They're not the best. They're not Madara, they're not Pep, but they're right below. And then Klopp, with his gegenpressing, took teams like Mainz, Dortmund, Liverpool. Teams that, Liverpool was in the best state. Bayern always dominates Bundesligas, but he took them to the very top. Both these guys have all their success due to hard work. It makes sense. They both made, taijutsu, gegenpressing. They're both kind of skill level the same. I'd say even personality-wise. They're these big guys, can barely take themselves seriously. They're laughing at anything. I forgot to say, I actually made a reel on this on Cole Palmer Spam, if you guys want to check that out. But I really like this one. That's why I brought it up first. I think this one really makes sense. By the way, leave some in the comments if you guys have any. I'm interested in watching Bleach. Preferably not Death Note. I don't want any spoilers. But next up, this one you got it deep. You gotta put on your philosopher's hat on. Saiki and Messi. I think the comparison, why I like it so much, it comes in the misconception. People say Cole Palmer Spam, Saiki, Messi. They're all the most talented in their universe, but they just don't care. But that is the moron's opinion. I think that's where the misconception or his comparison comes in, because Saiki doesn't care, but he does. Okay, in my mind, this is maybe an agenda. I think he likes Terahashi, but we know at the ending of the anime, which I didn't watch, we know he at least says his feelings to everyone, says that he really does care for them. So there's that. He deals with everyone, he helps people out when they don't even. He'll never get the credit because he's doing it with his powers, but he helps people. And Messi, people say he doesn't care. Bro, he retired. He cries. He fights. He's an emotional man, which there's honestly nothing wrong with at times, but it's just, it makes so much more sense when you think about it that way. Most talented in their universe, people think they don't care, but they secretly do, and I don't know why no one else can see it. For the penultimate comparison, we have Jose Mourinho and Askeladd. Not an insane amount to talk about, because of the nature of how Vinland Saga was. By the way, do you guys like Season 2? I think anyone who doesn't is like a little immature. I saw this girl, she was explaining on Reels how, Thorfinn just had so much aura in the first season. It's like, bro, he was being controlled by Askeladd. He was his little, he had him on a leash. There's nothing tough about that. But anyways, we're making a video here. We are making a video, us and the viewer. What was I going to say? They're both masterminds. They're both smooth talkers. They understand people's egos. But I like this comparison because it explains, in my head at least, why people like dickheads. Because to different levels, of course, Askeladd kills people. Jose Mourinho just makes fun of them. But they're both self-admittedly loud dickheads. That's why people like it. People like honesty, transparency. Whereas, I don't know if you guys watch UFC, but this guy Ian Gary, he's under a lot of crap right now because he kind of lied about his childhood, and his brother came out saying it really wasn't that bad. And Kittel on the show, he's a slave owner, but he's actually very nice. He does a lot of good things for people. He has one very bad thing, kills a woman, but he does a lot less compared to Askeladd. Yet people don't like him because Kittel lied about how he was this great warrior, was like Ironstone Kittel, and he always had this good image, and he ruined it. But people will always like the self-admitted dickhead. Lastly, and I guess for the ultimate, I have Reagan from Mob Psycho and Carlo Ancelotti. Carlo Ancelotti, especially in the 21-22 Champions League run. We're about to go into why. especially in the 21-22 Champions League run. Because, I mean, I wrote this down. I had to remember all the crap that they went through and that they still... Madrid, Ancelotti luck. It's Ancelotti luck. It's Reagan luck. This is... Okay, so you're telling me they play Nacho Fernandez left back. Valverde right wing. You're losing to City, so what do? You sub on your Rodrigo winger at center mid. And it works, of course. He scores two last-minute goals, of course. You come back and literally every single game, they were one down to Chelsea, 2 down to City. Oh yeah, the first game they were 2 down to PSG. I guess in the final they have to come back. Man, just this insane monster run. This is something only someone of Reagan luck could do. That's literally all I had to say. I just wanted to talk about that run. I don't think people talk about how much went Madrid's way. Not even, there's like 1 or 2 calls, but not even the way of calls, just of like fate, something only Reagan would do. Thank you to everyone, anyone who watched. Again, let me know of any comparisons. I'm genuinely interested. I'm planning on watching some more. Let me know if anything can change with the video. Is some of the audio too loud, too quiet, anything else? And, leave a bit of love behind.